What's the difference between a contested divorce and an uncontested divorce? The biggest difference is a contested divorce is litigated, you guys are fighting, whereas an uncontested divorce, you guys come to an agreement and draw up your agreement. My name's Sam Bone. I am a Gadsden, Alabama family law attorney, and I help people that are going through a divorce get their divorce done and keep it as least amount of stress as possible. I am located here in Gadsden, and I work with my dad. He's my best friend, and we get along really well together. In 2015, I was named a top 40 lawyer under the age of 40. In 2021, I was named a rising star by the Superlawyers organization. So you are here on this video because you want to know more about divorce. Particularly, we're going to go over in this video what's the difference between a contested divorce and an uncontested. We'll go over the pros and cons. So let's first give you a layout of exactly what uncontested divorce means. An uncontested divorce basically means an agreed upon divorce before we even file the divorce. And a contested divorce is when we file an actual divorce paper, the other party served, and we go to court. So that's the main difference between the two of them. Now, let's go over the pros and cons of an uncontested divorce. So the biggest benefit of an uncontested divorce is the speed you can get an uncontested divorce in. If you want out of your marriage and are ready to move on with your life, the fastest way to get that done is through an uncontested divorce. So once you guys both agree upon the divorce and we file the divorce, you're then eligible for a divorce 30 days after you file the divorce. As opposed to if we go through a contested divorce, it's going to take much longer than that, because once you file the divorce, the sheriff's office or a process server, or even by certified mail, they're served, and then they have 30 days to respond from there. Then they're likely to file their version, their complaint for divorce back. And then from there, we'll either have it set for a hearing, or you'll go through a discovery process, which will take even longer, where you exchange information between the two of you. Again, this sets back, the amount of time that you can get a divorce. And then you're set on a docket. And that docket could be next month, the month after that. We have divorces that take anywhere from, I usually tell people 6 months to a year would be an average for a contested divorce. So that's one. The next benefit of an uncontested divorce is you're able to keep things a little bit more private. Let's say that your spouse or you has some things that we're not necessarily proud of, that one of you cheated, that one of you has an alcohol problem, that one of you has a drug problem, that the child is causing issues between the two of you. One thing about a divorce is that it's public record. And so if we're fighting a custody case or fighting based upon adultery, and we make that allegation in the pleadings is going to be public. So anyone that is nosy and wants to know why the Smiths are breaking up, why they're getting a divorce, they have the ability to get on, in Alabama we call it aliquot, and look up, see exactly what the allegations are between the two of you. And when they go to Jack's on Saturday morning, they can gossip about you based upon what you guys have filed in the pleadings. So the privacy of an uncontested. For instance, Governor Bentley, when he had his divorce, he had an uncontested divorce, and they agreed to seal some things and keep them with the attorneys rather than file everything with the public record. Again, why did they do that? They did that to keep things more confidential. What's another benefit of an uncontested divorce is the cost. Okay, so lawyers generally will charge based upon the amount of time that they put into a case. Their lawyers' time is their tool, right? And so the more time that a lawyer puts into a case, the more likely it is that your bill is to go higher. And so if we're filing a contested divorce, we're filing a complaint, we're filing an answer, we're filing an entry, we're doing discovery, we're asking for a hearing, we're going to a hearing, we're having to deal with emergency issues, your cost is going up, right? Again, not necessarily, we don't charge by the hour generally, we charge a flat fee based upon our experience and how much we think a particular case, how much time we think it'll take. But it's based upon what we think the time will be. And so it becomes more costly the more you litigate a case. So that's a benefit, is that we're dealing with limited amount of funds. It's not worth it necessarily to spend $3 to fight over $1, right? So other benefit is your stress level is, if we're filing a contested divorce, it's going to take a toll on you with your mental health. We hope that my job is to try to keep it the toll as little as possible, for me to take the stress and put the stress on me and not have it on you. But I mean, still, when you're putting out allegations on this party and your spouse is putting allegations on you, or you're even fighting over things that are sentimental to you, such as kids, or goods that you guys bought together, or even fighting over whether you're entitled to alimony or entitled to money that you guys earn together, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be tough. It's going to result in less sleep for you. And so I'll tell people, is it sometimes worth going through all that to get something similar? And when we have an uncontested divorce and or contested divorce consultation, I'll go over that with you. We'll make sure that we discuss, is it worth putting you through this stress, as opposed to, can we come to an agreement and get this done? Next is, if the one benefit is if kids are involved, is it goes back to the privacy level. Whenever kids are involved, especially as they get older, they're going to have an idea of what's going on, and they're going to have an opinion, or they're going to be forced to give an opinion, and that's not necessarily healthy for your kids. And it's not necessarily healthy for your kids to hear the allegations that are levied on some people. For instance, if drug allegations or cheating allegations are levied while the child may be 3 years old now, remember we talked about how it's public record. That child, as they become older, 12, 13, 14, even later, they'll have the ability to see that it's public record or hear from their friends those allegations. And it can cause harm to the child to find out why the divorce happened, and or some of the allegations that are levied on a child. So if you're looking to get a divorce, whether it's contested or uncontested, your next step is to set up a consultation. Under the button below, we've got a link for you to set up a meeting with me or my dad, and we can discuss what your next step is or what your options are. If you're not necessarily ready for a divorce now, you just want to be ready to know when that time comes, what you need to do. Set up a consultation and let's go over what my thoughts are regarding your assets, your debts, and what's likely to happen with your children. We can help you decide whether a contested divorce or an uncontested divorce is in your best interest. Again, hit the link below. If you've got any questions, please let me know. That's what I'm here